My family has always been the most important thing to me. My mom is my best friend and she gave me life. So it's only right that I give her life too. I don't think I could have asked for a better mom. She's the reason why I became a person with values and morals. She was never perfect, but she tried her best and I know she loved me with all her heart. Unfortunately, she isn't around anymore because she passed away last year due to cancer. It was a very fast diagnosis and it took her life in just a few months. It was absolutely heartbreaking. But I take solace in knowing that she isn't suffering anymore. The way she died was also peaceful and calm. It was just like her. Although I miss her every single day, I am still grateful to be able to cherish the memories of her while I live my life. But there is one person who wishes they could erase those memories. That person is my dad. My dad has always hated talking about my mother. He always changes the subject whenever I try to ask him a question about her. And he gets extremely irritated when I talk about my childhood. I know he doesn't mean to do it, though. I can tell by how his face scrunches up in discomfort and how he avoids eye contact when he does it. I've come to accept the fact that he doesn't want to talk about my mom. But the more he hides, the more I feel that something happened between him and my mom that he doesn't want me to know about. One time when I was young, I saw him looking at an old photo album of my mom and I walked over to him and asked what was wrong. He slammed the album shut and snapped at me to leave him alone. Then he put the album under a pile of clothes. That really hurt my feelings. I was just curious about the past, but I guess it brought up a lot of bad memories for him. He did apologize after a couple hours for how he acted. But even his apology sounded empty. It felt like he was just saying those words to get them out of the way so we could move on. I didn't believe him when he apologized because he never apologizes. Last week, I was going through my things when I found a box with my mom's name on it. There were some of her belongings inside, and there was also a key attached to the box. I asked my dad what the key was for, but he said he didn't know and left the room. I didn't want to pester him about it, so I decided to go investigate on my own. After searching the house for a bit, I discovered that the key opened up a small drawer in my dad's office. When I opened it, I saw a bunch of Polaroids inside. I checked the date on the first picture and it was from the day I was born. I looked through each picture and they were all of my mom. Some of them were of her as a child, while others were of her as a teenager. There was also one picture of her and my dad together. It must have been taken shortly after they got married because they were both smiling and looked very much in love. But that wasn't the only thing in the pictures. In the majority of them, there was another man. He wasn't in many pictures with my mom, but he was in enough for me to recognize him. It was my uncle. My mom's younger brother. Wait, no. That couldn't be possible, could it? How could my dad be in pictures with my mom and my uncle at the same time? This made absolutely no sense. Why would my dad hide these pictures? Was he ashamed of being with my mom? But if he was, why did he marry her in the first place? The questions kept swirling around in my head, but I didn't have any answers. I needed to find out what was going on here. So, I decided to confront my dad. I asked him about the pictures and about my mom. And he finally cracked. He told me everything. But before I tell you what he told me, I need you to understand something. These events are very sensitive and they happened a long time ago. So, I'm not trying to hate on or judge anyone involved. Times were different back then and people had different views. But I will say that what my dad did was unforgivable. He told me that he and my mom weren't actually married. They were only together to take care of me because my mom got pregnant with me before they were married. And apparently, neither of their families approved of the relationship. My mom's brother, Thomas, was the only one who supported her. That's why he's in all the pictures with her. He was the father of my mom's child, not my dad. And as proof, he even showed me a document stating that he signed my birth certificate. Apparently, My dad knew this too, and that's why he hid the pictures. He was afraid that I would treat him differently if I knew the truth. But honestly, I feel bad for him because I treated him like garbage my entire life without knowing the truth. If I had known that he wasn't my real father, I would have respected him even more for raising me despite our differences. I wish I could go back in time and redo things, but unfortunately, I can't. Still, I'm glad that I know the truth now. At least I know where I got my looks from because my mom was a very beautiful woman. But that's not the only reason why I wanted to share this story. I wanted to show you all that even if you have a happy family life, you should still be careful. You never know what secrets your partner is hiding from you. You should always keep your guard up and be ready to run if things start to get weird. I know this might sound depressing, but I'd rather you be safe than sorry. Trust me, it's better to be alone than to be with someone who's lying to you. And if you're not in a relationship, then just be wary of who you trust. Never let your guard down because you never know who's behind a mask. I hope you take my advice and apply it to your life. And if you're already in a relationship, then just pay close attention to your partner. If you ever notice any red flags or if something seems off, then take action immediately. Don't let your intuition guide you because it could lead you down a dangerous path. You should always be aware of your surroundings. And if you're ever in danger, then run to safety. I know this sounds like common sense, but in reality, people forget it all the time. Just think of all the people who ignored the signs and ended up in dangerous situations. If they would have followed my advice, maybe things would have turned out differently. So please listen to me and stay vigilant. Even if you feel like you're in a safe environment, you should still be prepared for anything. It's better to be safe than sorry. You never know when you might need to run for your life. And if you are ever in danger, please call the police and get help. Don't try to handle the situation on your own because you could end up getting hurt. Stay safe. Thank you for listening to my advice. I hope you take it to heart and apply it to your life. And if you're in a relationship, then pay extra close attention to your partner. Trust me, it'll save you a lot of trouble in the future. Remember, it's better to be alone than to be with someone who's lying to you. Stay safe.